The tiara. It's more than just diamonds and rubies, isn't it? It's history, duty, and the weight of 1,000 years of monarchy. And on December 3rd, 2025, that weight settled squarely on the head of Catherine, Princess of Wales. Forget the diplomatic niceties. The state banquet for German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier and his wife, Ela Budenbender. Forget the clinking crystal and the polite applause. The real story that night was the tiara, Queen Victoria's Oriental Circlet, unseen for 2 decades, blazing back to life atop Catherine's head. Imagine the scene. Windsor Castle, a Gothic masterpiece dripping in tradition. Trumpets blare, announcing the arrival of the royal. And then Catherine, a vision in sapphire blue, a bespoke Jenny Packham gown shimmering with sequins, a dramatic cape cascading behind her like a royal wave. But it was the tiara that silenced the room. 172 years old, a riot of diamonds and Burmese rubies, a legacy resurrected. This wasn't just a fashion statement. This was a declaration, a message broadcast not just to the assembled dignitaries, but to the world. Catherine was ready to step into her destiny, ready to be queen. King Charles, in a move that surprised many, had chosen this moment, this setting, to publicly anoint his daughter-in-law. He could have chosen any tiara from the royal vault. He could have waited, but he didn't. Later, the palace released a short video clip. Charles, his voice firm, spoke of entrusting the Oriental Circlet to Catherine not merely as decoration, but as a clear mark of the duties she is now called to bear as the future queen of this realm. The subtext was deafening. This was a vote of confidence, a public endorsement of Catherine's unwavering commitment to the crown, especially poignant considering her recent health challenges. It was also a strategic move, a reassurance of stability in a world increasingly uncertain. The whispers started immediately. Royal commentators dissected every detail. Fashion analysts gushed over the gown. Social media exploded. Catherine's tiara trended globally. The monarchy, for one night at least, had captured the world's attention. But the real story lies deeper than the surface sparkle. To understand the significance of this moment, you have to understand the history of the tiara itself. It's a tale of love, loss, and royal power plays, a glittering soap opera played out over generations. Commissioned by Prince Albert for Queen Victoria in 1853, the Oriental Circlet was a deeply personal gift. Inspired by the Great Exhibition of 1851, it incorporated Mughal arches and lotus flowers, symbols of purity and rebirth. Originally set with opals, considered unlucky, it sparkled with over 2,600 diamonds. Albert, ever the sentimental German, wanted to create a piece that could be transformed from a full tiara to a lighter, more manageable version. Victoria wore it sparingly, immortalized in portraits like Stephen Caterson Smith's 1,857 depiction. But after Albert's death in 1861, she retreated into mourning and the tiara was relegated to the vault. It resurfaced with Queen Alexandra in 1901, who, superstitious as they come, promptly replaced the opals with Burmese rubies, a gift from the ruler of Nepal. The rubies, fiery and passionate, added a new dimension to the tiara's story. Queen Mary inherited it, but never wore it publicly. It was Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, who truly embraced the Oriental Circlet, wearing it frequently from the 1,930 seconds onwards, a symbol of her unwavering confidence and regal charm. Her daughter, Queen Elizabeth II, wore it only once, in Malta in 2005, before it disappeared back into the royal collection, and then silence. Until that night in Windsor Castle. The choice was deliberate, a break from tradition. Victoria's will stipulated that the tiara was for queens and future queens. Catherine, as Princess of Wales, was neither. But King Charles, in his wisdom, saw something more. He saw a woman ready to embrace her destiny, a woman worthy of the weight of the crown. Jewel experts practically tripped over themselves to praise the tiara's artistry. Claire Scott, Guard's design director, gushed about its technical skill, the echoes of Albert's vision resonating across the decades. But let's be honest, the real buzz wasn't about the craftsmanship. It was about Catherine. From middle-class girl to future queen, it's a fairy tale for the ages. Born Catherine Elizabeth Middleton in Reading, she wasn't to the manor born. No dukes or earls in her family tree, just Carol and Michael Middleton running a party supplies business. solid, grounded, the kind of upbringing that seems almost normal in the context of the Windsors. She went to good schools, excelled in sports, captained the hockey team. Nothing particularly remarkable, just a bright, well-adjusted young woman. And then St. Andrews University. And then William, their meeting, their friendship, blossoming into romance. It's all well documented. The media frenzy, the scrutiny, the pressure. Catherine navigated it all with a quiet dignity that belied her years. A brief stint as an accessories buyer at Jigsaw, a taste of the real world before the gilded cage closed around her. The engagement, sealed with Diana's sapphire ring, a poignant reminder of the past. The wedding, a global spectacle, billions watching as she walked down the aisle in that iconic Sarah Burton for Alexander McQueen gown, the Cartier halo tiara sparkling like a promise. As Duchess of Cambridge, then Princess of Wales, she carved out her own path. Mental health, early childhood development, environmental causes, she championed them all with a genuine passion. Heads Together, the Royal Foundation Center for Early Childhood, tangible initiatives that made a real difference. And then the bombshell, the 2024 cancer diagnosis. The video, raw and vulnerable, Catherine speaking directly to the public, sharing her fears, her hopes, her determination. It was a moment of profound connection, stripping away the royal facade and revealing the woman beneath. Her recovery, thankfully, was swift. By late 2025, she was back to her duty, stronger, more resilient than ever. And then this. The state banquet, the tiara, a triumphant return, a symbol of hope and renewal. Royal commentator Grant Harold called it a reflection of King Charles's trust in her as a future consort. And let's face it, the ensemble was perfection. The Jenny Packham gown, a masterclass in diplomatic dressing, deep Prussian blue sequin, a nod to Germany's national colors, a dramatic cape echoing Victorian elegance. Fashion analysts raved about the cornflower blue shade, Germany's emblematic flower, symbolizing hope and resilience. A subtle but powerful gesture, bridging cultural divides. The sleek Gianvito Rossi pumps, the Royal Victorian Order sash, King Charles's newly introduced family order, a brooch featuring his portrait encircled by diamonds. Every detail meticulously planned, every choice deliberate. And the jewelry, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother's 4-drop diamond earrings, a loan from the late monarch's collection, a personal, familial touch, a pearl bracelet once belonging to the Queen Mother, luminous strands evoking memories of royal continuity. The hair, upswept, secured in a clever twisted bun to balance the tiara's weight. Over 2 pounds of diamonds and rubies, a substantial burden. The makeup, natural yet glowing, soft smoky eyes, a subtle rose lip emphasizing her striking blue irises, a refined style honed over years by makeup artist Arabella Preston. The overall effect? Regal, approachable, seamlessly blending high fashion with the strictures of royal protocol. Behind the scenes, weeks of meticulous preparation, multiple fittings in Windsor Castle's private apartments. Seamstresses adjusting the gown's bodice for perfect fit, Prince William providing input on the color palette, a collaborative partnership extending from family life to public duties. The internet, predictably, lost its mind. X, formerly Twitter, exploded with 500,000 mentions of Catherine's tiara. Fans dubbed it her most regal moment, creating side-by-side comparisons with Queen Victoria's portraits. Influencers, those self-proclaimed royal experts, amplified the frenzy with breathless live threads. Reddit threads dissected every facet. Was it a deliberate nod to future queens? A subtle dig at past family controversies? Users poured over Queen Victoria's will, debating the tiara's historical restrictions. A YouGov poll revealed that 72% of Britons approved of the monarchy's handling of tradition. Catherine's personal favorability climbed to 68%, a significant jump from earlier in the year. The public, it seemed, was on board. Across the channel, Euronews hailed the ensemble as a bridge of cultures, tying the tiara's design to Prince Albert's German heritage. Local commentators noted how the blue gown fostered goodwill during discussions on trade and Ukraine's support. Diplomacy through diamonds? Who knew? In the U.S., CNN focused on her radiant post-cancer glow, interpreting the appearance as a symbol of resilience. Americans, ever drawn to a comeback story? embraced. Feminist groups celebrated her empowerment, framing the tiara as a reclaiming of female agency in a male-dominated institution. But not everyone was impressed. Critics questioned the opulence of diamond-studded displays amid the UK's economic woes. The Guardian, predictably, ran an op-ed questioning the optics. But the overall sentiment skewed positive. Ipsos data showed royal approval climbing nationally. Catherine's relatable recovery narrative had struck a chord. Celebrities weighed in. Oprah Winfrey praised her unwavering resilience, drawing parallels to her own interviews with royals. Hollywood stylists started sketching cape gowns for awards season. Archewell, the Sussex's charitable foundation, remained conspicuously silent. The whispers started again. Palace unity efforts, perhaps? A desire to avoid reopening old wounds? Who knows what goes on behind those gilded gates? The global reaction illuminated cultural divides. Americans focused on individualism and personal triumph. Europeans underscored tradition and diplomatic finesse. Commonwealth nations debated relevance in a post-colonial world, but at its core, the response hinged on a clash between modernity and heritage. Catherine's poise tilted public opinion decisively toward admiration. The Windsor dynasty, against all odds, endured. This singular evening sent ripples far beyond Windsor Castle. The selection of Queen Victoria's Oriental Circlet was more than an aesthetic choice. It was a deliberate emblem of succession. Grant Harold, former royal butler, articulated it perfectly. King Charles's entire trust in her capability. This gesture arrives amid the king's ongoing health battles. His 2024 cancer diagnosis casting a long shadow. Palace insiders whispered that this Christmas might be his last meaningful one, infusing the moment with a poignant urgency. By entrusting this tiara, explicitly reserved for queens and future queens, Charles honored historical protocol and safeguarded the crown jewel. Continuity in an era of flux. Economically, the event was a boon. Visit Britain data indicated that major royal spectacles draw millions of additional visitors to London. Windsor Castle saw a spike in footfall. The royal family's annual tourism contribution is estimated at up to £500 million. Not bad for a family of tiara-wearing figureheads. Diplomatically, it fortified UK-German relations. President Steinmeier's state visit marked the first by a German head of state in over 3 decades. His speeches invoked renewed warmth amid lingering Brexit tensions. Catherine's influence expanded through her Shaping Us initiative, unveiled in 2023. Tangible policy impacts, film series, programs targeting underprivileged toddlers, measurable improvements in child outcomes. Within the family, William's pride was evident. Shared glances, supportive toasts. Their children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, gained invaluable exposure to heritage, learning the nuances of duty. Challenges persisted. Relentless media scrutiny. The 2024 edited family photo controversy sparked global debates on authenticity. The tiara's debut also spotlighted evolving gender dynamics. Catherine, as the first non-reigning consort in generations to wear this piece, shattered subtle precedents. A modern monarchy where women wield substantive influence. Recent polls underscored her appeal. Ipsos data showed the royal family's overall favorability rising, youth engagement increasing, Catherine's relatable advocacy on mental health drawing younger Britons into royal narratives. This banquet embodied preservation, reimagined, adapting venerable traditions to resonate in a world skeptical of inherited privilege, ensuring the Windsor's relevance through strategic symbolism and substantive action.